Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of TCG Talk, back today with another video, and in today's video we're doing a re-upload. I put this video out earlier today and uploaded it and everything else, and apparently my sound cut out just randomly at 16 minutes. I don't know why. So I will keep an eye on my mic here and make sure it doesn't mess up again. So I'm sorry if you had watched that before. So if you're watching this again, it's not going to be the exact same recording. I am going to re-record this. But anyway, we are doing a deck tech here. We're doing a Breeze Rider build Katsu list. Breeze Rider Boots is a card that I've always enjoyed. It was around when Ninja Control was a thing in the Crucible War time frame, like early Crucible War. People were using it with like a heavy Ninja Control or Turtle Katsu as it was called build. And something I've tried to make work over the course of the last few sets. The last time I really ran it was like just before the Starvo chain meta, and something that now I want to run again because one, it's really fun. It's really enjoyable type Katsu to play, and two, with some of the new cards that have been released for Katsu, I do think that it's going to be very competitive, even for like an aggro or like mid-range build. Bonds of Ancestry, Dishonor, cards like that, even some of the newer cards that got released lately, I think that it's going to be something that's going to be very viable and something you should look at possibly trying out. But the key with this deck is it's not like full Unga Bunga aggro, never block. It is very much mid-range to even control, depending on how crazy you get with it. My list personally is probably I would consider mid-range. It might even be, I mean, it's actually more control based off how you play it. It just doesn't have all the Ninja Control cards that like the old Ninja Control deck used to have, like Toma Fiendal and Sigil and stuff like that. It does have Flick Flax and Sinks, but we'll get right into it. So obviously it's based off the Breeze Rider Boots card, which for anyone that's not aware, I'll bring it in here. It basically says when a ninja attack action card you control hits, you may destroy Breeze Rider Boots. If you do, attack action cards with combo gain go again this turn. So it works similar to how Refraction Bolters work on Dory. It's after a card's hit, so after the resolution is when you get the go again. So that's always going to be our boot. It's never going to change. We do not sub this out for anything. We're running the 2 Kadachis in the main board, obviously pretty standard. And then we're running Mask of Momentum. I do think when Outsiders comes out, Mask of Pouncing Lynx is going to have a lot of like validity, and you're going to be able to play it if you want because of the Dishonor being a 2 power, and then also just other good 2 power cards. Lynx might actually be useful, especially in like a hyper control list. However, Mask Momentum right now is the main, and then we have Breaking Skills as well in the main board. Pretty consistent, right, with all the combo that we have in this deck. Breaking Skills is going to be threatening a lot. So that is your main board equipment here. We can talk about the sideboard equipment really fast, and then we'll get into the cards. So sideboard equipment, our Null package, we have AB2 with Arcane Lantern and Null Rune gloves. I like to keep Tunic or Heart and Cross Strap. No, like if it's Kano, I bring in Heart and Cross Strap, and I want to keep that, obviously. If it's Icelander, I want to bring in Tunic and want to be able to use that to push through Frostbites and respond to Icelander with a Tunic counter. So, but I also want to keep Breeze Rider Boots, because if you don't keep Breeze Rider Boots, you really hurt your ability for the go wide turn, which is what the whole point of this is. And then Mask Momentum, I don't want to get rid of either. So because of that, I run AB2. We also run Heart and Cross Strap and Findle's Spring Tunic. A lot of people used to run both of these in Katsu lists. It kind of went away a little bit once Kitty Katsu came into play. However, running this into a lot of the aggro matchups like the Mirror, Phi, Rhinar, Dory, all the cards where you want your Surging Strike to be able to be played the first time regardless, Heart and Cross Strap is used, and then Findle Spring Tunic for more of the slower matchups. And then we also have Blazing Yori for the Phi matchup and for the Mirror, but mainly for the Phi matchup. Being able to tell the Phi, like, your first Lava Burst means nothing to me is very nice, and it does change the matchup a lot. Mask of Pouncing Lynx we have in for the Oldheim matchup and potentially the Icelander matchup, although I have been toying with putting Mask Momentum back in for Icelander now that Hypothermia is gone. And then finally, Tiger Stripe Shuko. We have a lot of Guardian in play right now, so a lot of equipment in the sideboard. That's basically... It's similar to the equipment I run anyway, other than the fact of Heart and Cross Strap or Findle's Spring Tunic, but that is our sideboard equipment. Okay, So getting into the main board, there's a few principles you want to know when it comes to Breeze Water Boots Katsu and just Katsu in general, in my opinion, but Breeze Water Boots especially, you have to maintain these principles. One is starters. This deck is low on what I like for starters. In a Katsu list, I typically like 15 to 18 starters in my deck. 18 is the safe amount. 15 is like the lowest you should go. I have 14 in this deck, and I want to put it to 15, so I'm trying to swap out one card. However, this is a good starting point. Reason being is it's just like your blues, right? Like if you run 15 blues, most of the time you have a decent chance of getting one per hand, which is what you want. Well, in starters, you want one per hand. So you want at least 15 starters in most Katsu lists, but in Breeze Water Boots especially, you want 15 starters. So for me, I have 3 red head jabs, 3 leg taps, 300 wins here, 3 surging strikes, red, and then 2 surging strike yellows. So as you can see, a total of 14 starters. Like I said, I like to have at least 15, if not 18. I honestly would like to have 1 more yellow surging strike and then like 3 double strikes, to be honest, or 3 ride the tailwinds, depending on how my list is and like what synergizes well. But this is like the bare bones minimum amount of stars you should be running. You should run more than this, in my opinion. What helps me supplement my lack of starters is I have a couple conditional go-agains with 3 soul bead strikes and 3 torrent the tempos. Soul bead strike is really, really good. It's one of my favorite cards in Katsu. It's a 3-block red that attacks for 4. It has go again if it hits. You can discard it for Katsu if you want to. Just really good. And it has some applications if you do have Crane Dance in your list. Torrent Tempo, a lot of people aren't on this card. I like it, especially in this kind of mid-rangey control list where like off a blue and torrent, you can attack for 7 damage and threaten mask momentum, which is really nice. Block with 2 cards, attack for 7, potentially drawing a card and getting going again. Really, really nice. And if you play this on chain like 4 or 5, it just starts to destroy your opponent because it's going to be free damage. I had a turn I put on my Twitter if you want to go check it out last night where I dealt a 27 damage Lord of Wind turn, and basically I had a torrent in the arsenal the whole time, and I played once the McGinty hit. I went and got 2 Lord of Winds, and instead of playing Lord of Wind out, I played a leg tap because I drew into that off mask, and then I played a torrent a tempo for 5. Then I played my Lord of Wind. So just really good damage. I enjoy it. So that's what I have on the list for starters / like conditional go again cards. Other things you can think about are E-Strike for 7's really nice. Obviously, E-Strike's really good on 2-card hand. It just doesn't go with this list as much because we want as many ninja attacks in the list as possible. So that's all your starters. Then we're talking about your combo cards. So in this list, I have 14 combo cards. Again, that's why I like to have 18 starters because it's more than you have in combo cards. We have 3 red Whelming Gust Wave, pretty standard for any Katsu list. That's the only thing you want to have. A 3 of. I have 3 Fluster Fist though because it's a really good card. It's a block 3 that you can search for, attacks for 4, combos off open the center. Really good for that. Rise and Knee Thrust. 2 of those. We have 1 open the center in this list, 1 Break Tide, 1 Rushing River, and 1 Blackout Kick. And then we have 2 McGinty's. Okay, so now that I have them all out, I want to talk about this for a second. So the first principle was starters. The second principle is combo card ratios. There's 2 lines where you could have technically 3 of the combo card. One is Whelming because you want 3 Whelmings. It makes sense. It's the most powerful line technically, especially late game, which this list does really well in. So you can have 3 of. Then you could potentially, if you're running a really mid-range list, have 3 Fluster Fists in your deck. Really easy. It can discard for Katsu. You can search it with Katsu. Tutor, it blocks for 3. It's a combo card. Hits for 4. Possibly hits for 5 or 6 off of open the center. Really good card. Everything else should be tiered down. So if you have 3 starters of something, you should normally have 2 combo cards of the second link in that combo, and then 1 combo card of the third link, typically, with the exception of the Lord of Wind line. So for the leg tap line, we have 3 red leg taps, as you saw. Then we have 2 rise knee thrust, and then 1 blackout kick. I do like having 1 blackout kick. It's actually really nice on like a breeze pop turn where I play like Surging Strike and the Whelming, and maybe I don't have enough targets, and maybe I have a Rising in Arsenal or whatever, right? And I don't have enough targets to go get a McGinty and make it worthwhile, or I don't have a McGinty. I play Rising for 3, go again, and then when Surging or Whelming hit, I went and got Blackout Kick. Then I played Blackout Kick for 7. go again, right? So it's kind of cool with that. 2 McGinty is pretty standard. You really don't want to run 3 McGinty. I don't want to see McGinty unless I'm searching for it. So I want to whittle that down as little as possible. Then we're running 3 1-ofs. Normally in a snaps build, we would not run any of these cards, right? Maybe 1 open the center. I'm still a big proponent of running 3 head jabs, 1 open the center, and 1 fluster fist, even in a snaps aggro build. I love open the center. If you think about, like, I know people say it's not as efficient, and I agree. It kind of limits the way you play the line. However, if you can play head jab and open a center into fluster fist, like Arsenal open the center, play head jab, it hits, go get fluster fist, then open the center comes in for 6 dominate for 2 resources, go again, and then fluster fist, if they didn't block out the open the center, comes in for an additional 6. Right, so you're hitting for 15 damage on 3 cards for 2 resources. So you're dealing 5 damage a card for 2 whole resources over 3 cards. 4 cards if you count the pitch. So that's pretty good. I mean, I think it's pretty good value. So we're doing that. We have 1 break tide in the list. It's a good links target, as well as just playing into that Breeze Rider Boots Katsu build. Rushing River Red. We have 1 of these. I do have blue Rushing Rivers in the list, 2 of them, just to help synergize a little bit more with the Torrent line. However, running 1 red is really nice because it allows you to try to dig for Break Tide. If you haven't seen Break Tide yet, you play Torrent, they let it hit, go get Rushing River, play Rushing River. If they don't block it, you basically can draw 4 cards, look and see if you can find a Break Tide. Obviously, you have to put 4 cards back, but it allows you to like look for Rushing River or look for Break Tide, which is really, really nice. Once the new set comes out, like these lines will probably go, especially like the Break Tide and Rushing River lines will go in place of like the actual new good cards. But right now, this is kind of like your best, I think, ratios when it comes to Breeze Rider Boots Katsu. So that's that. That is our combo cards. Right, and then we're going to look at defense reactions / attack reactions. We have 6 total, 3 of each in the deck. Or 6 of each in the deck. We have, for defense reactions, we have Flick Flack, busted card, and Sink Below. Flick Flack's so nice. Being able to block for 4 and then block for 5. I mean, it's amazing value. Sink Below is really good as well. And then for attack reactions, we have 3 Ancestral Empowerment. This will always be a 3 of in any of my Katsu decks ever. It never comes out, in my opinion. And Razor Reflex. Ancestral does everything you want to do, especially in a Breeze list. Blocks for 3, gives +1 to your ninja attack. Also draws a card. Really good when like you're trying to like go wide on a Breeze turn. Just really nice for that. Razor, although amazing, it's going to be interesting to see if Razor is ran when it comes to the new Katsu, because you're going to have Bonds of Ancestry in your deck, which is a 2 cost. So 3 of those. You're going to have likely 3 Surging Red and maybe 3 Surging Yellow if it's a really like Surging centric list. So having 9 2 costs in the deck, Razor's going to hit less and less, especially on your starters. So it may not be as useful, but we're going to have to see. But that's what we're running here. Pretty simple, standard. I'm running these because we need to try to set up our Breeze turn. So we need to be able to buy a little bit of time. Like I said, this is not just like a never block, never do anything list. You have to play smart with this list. Then we have blues. We have 15 blues. So 80% of the time, your blues are going to be a block 3 pitch for Kodachis, right? When it comes to this, we also want some utility. So I have basically every line in the deck, which is head jab line, surging line, leg tap line, torrent line, and soul bead line. I have the blue equivalent combo cards to be able to maybe in a pinch have to search for them, right? And for the 100 wins line. So for 100 wins, we're running 2 Winds of Eternity to be able to combo off that if we absolutely need it. We're running 2 Fluster Fists. Off a head jab, open the center play, and you go get a blue Fluster Fist, it's probably still coming in for 4, which is really nice. We're running 2 Rushing Rivers for the Torrent line, obviously. 2 Fine Centers, because we do have 1 Crane Dance in the sideboard. 2 red Crane Dance. 2 blue Crane Dances for the Soul Bead line. 2 Whelming Gust Waves, obviously, for the Whelming line. And then finally, your 3 Lord of Winds. So 15 total blues. I think it's a good number. Again, I'm trying to have a little bit for each single line. You could go to a 3 of if you don't want to run one of these, but I'm just trying to give you the most flexibility possible when it comes to your Katsu tutors, because what I found late game is sometimes being able to search for that blue, the combo off of something, really makes the difference on keeping tempo or not. So it's something to think about. And then we have the sideboard. Sideboard's pretty standard. We have 3 Command and Conquers. Just a really good card. Plays against a lot of good decks. If you don't have Command and Conquer, because I know they cost a crap ton, Erase Face is a good substitute. It still hurts Briar, it hurts Oldheim, it hurts Icelander, it hurts Fi, and it's a 6 popper for Dromai. So it's still really good. If you don't have either one of those, honestly, maybe find something else to fill the spot. But if you really have a lot of Dromai in your area, put in stuff like Nourishing Emptiness. You can put in Raging Onslaught, whatever it might be. But Erase Face is probably your best like budget Command and Conquer. Then we have 2 Fate for Scenes for those really grinding matchups. For Guardian, like I said, we want to be patient with this list and be able to whittle our opponent down until we get to a really big combo turn. So that can help us along with that. We have 1 Crane Dance. I like Crane Dance. I don't like the Crane Dance line or the Soulbead line in general, but against Fi and against the Mirror, it's really good because most of those decks don't want to block. So to be able to get this off into Fine Center is really, really nice. And then we're running 1 Remembrance. This is an in-state token. We're running 1 Remembrance. Again, being able to put combo cards. We're really, most of the time, trying to put combo cards back into our deck more than starters because we don't use our starters as quickly. Because early on, you might have to block with combo cards since a lot of them are 3 blocks to maintain, like, life similarities. So being able to put 3 of them back in your deck in a control-type matchup is really, really nice. But yeah, overall, if you wanted to make this a little bit more efficient, maybe you take out the Soulbead line and the Torrent line and then put in like Yellow 100 Winds or something like that. But overall, I'm trying to give you an idea of like how the deck wants to play. I'll probably end up doing some streams or some like play guides on how I play Breezy Katsu because it's actually pretty competitive if you play it correctly, in my opinion. We'll see if Ninja Control comes back. This isn't a true control list. This is more of like a heavy mid-range to slightly control list. More mid-range than anything. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are. I'm super excited for the new Outsider set. I think Breeze Rider Boots Katsu is going to actually have a place in the meta. Or Breeze Rider Boots in general is going to have a place in the meta. But we'll have to see. But yeah, if you like this type of content, please leave a like, comment, or subscribe. If not me, totally fine. Go to our Fleshbud career, leave a like, comment, and subscribe on their stuff so we can get more people seeing this game. And yeah, I'll see y'all next time on TC Talk. Thank y'all so much and have a nice day.